Hi, what's up, Josh? How you doing? Not doing bad. Welcome to today's crypto report, February 14th, 2025. Happy Valentine's Day if you're celebrating it. If you're not, if you're forever alone, hopefully we have some good stuff for you here today. So in today's session, I want to start it off. I got the blessing from Josh to talk TradFi markets for 30 seconds before we kickstart into crypto because it does influence crypto. So obviously, we know that the crypto market is an extension of liquidity, more or less. As risk flows into the market, that liquidity permeates through all different asset classes, and obviously crypto, being a higher beta area of the market, tends to fulfill that higher risk, higher beta area. Liquidity flows in there, and then obviously we get these huge pops in price. And what we're seeing right now in the TradFi market is, after a couple of months, seriously since December, worth of consolidation in both the NASDAQ and the S&P 500, we're starting to see upwards resolution. So we've had this correction more so through time than price. We didn't see a lot of pullbacks in price, specifically across Mag 7 stocks, just kind of sputtering around. Well, now, as of at least yesterday, the 13th, we're starting to see some resolutions to the upside. Equally weighted NASDAQ closed at an all-time high. We're within $1 or 1% rather from the S&P 500. As a matter of fact, S&P 500 didn't close, but hit an all-time high today. We'll see if it closes there. The NASDAQ very close, within 1% as well. So we're seeing forward, kind of this upward resolution in the TradFi markets that kind of signals to us that risk is coming back into the market. And coincidentally, the crypto market peaked around the same time as the TradFi market. So we know that they're correlated. We have the data. Does Bitcoin lead or does it lag? I think that's a better argument to have, but we know that they tend to move in the same direction. So here's the $1 million question where I want Josh to kind of step in here. If the TradFi market is breaking out into all-time highs, and it's being led higher, by the way, by higher beta areas, which it is right now, is that good for crypto and in particular Bitcoin? Yeah, I'm not afraid to go out on record and say people that say that this crypto cycle is over are idiots. I'm not afraid to go out and say that. I think they're dumb. I think they don't know what they're doing. Listen, at the end of the day, crypto moves more or less in the same cycle as the broader market. It's all liquidity driven. Now, obviously, we understand that the crypto market moves at a way quicker pace, almost like a video game, where we'll see maybe a potential double-digit move in the indexes and we'll see a triple-digit move in Bitcoin. I mean, that's not out of the realm of ordinary. But what I don't see is a TradFi market ripping and a crypto market dying. Now, by crypto market, I'm talking about total crypto market cap, not your shitty altcoin or your shit coin or your scam coin you're trying to hit $1 million off of. That doesn't count. I'm talking about the broader crypto ecosystem. If the TradFi markets are going up, typically speaking, the total crypto market cap is also going up. And that's when last week, I believe we spent a lot of time, or 2 weeks ago, we were spending a lot of time about Bitcoin dominance and how we can see the relationship between where the liquidity is flooding into, whether it's altcoins or Bitcoin, where opportunity cost lies, where you should be looking. Right now, though, it's the same idea. It's the same concept as, well, here, take this, some anecdotal evidence. Yesterday, I released a newsletter, and in that newsletter, we had the highest amount of retail investors and traders that were bearish going back 1 year, right? The AAII bull bear spread came out, the investment survey, and it was telling us that essentially 40% of retail is bearish and something like 20% was bullish with some neutral. That was the most it's been in the last year. And we were within 1% of all-time highs. It's the same concept in the crypto market. Bitcoin right now, we'll say all-time highs were around 108,000. We're down 10% from all-time highs. And they're ready to throw the towel in on an asset that moves 4% per day. The people that think this is over are people that don't know what the hell they're doing. I mean, it's just that simple. Am I wrong? Am I crazy for thinking that? As long as the primary trend is up, which is 200-day moving average sloped up, price up and over it, you're within some sort of bullish momentum regime. It's very hard for me to be bearish this stuff. We're within 10% or so from all-time highs. I think the people that are giving up right now, markets are designed to really wear people down. It's something that we were talking about yesterday morning prior to yesterday's action was that markets tend to grind you down, and then you make the worst possible decisions at the worst possible time right before the market flips. I mean, go back 100 years, it's the exact same thing. Markets tend to just grind investors and traders down until they're basically defeated and they give up. They capitulate. And I don't think, the crypto market is any different. As a matter of fact, I think it's exemplified there. It grinds people down even more because they're used to up only. And up only in the TradFi market is, a couple of percent per day in the best case scenario. In the crypto market, up only is hundreds or thousands of percent a day in best case scenario. So for this stuff to get stuck in a sideways trend, or even worse, like you said, altcoins, and they're down 50, 60, 70, 80%, yeah, I can see why they would think this is bleak. But remember, we don't get to control what other people do with their money. Let them do stupid shit. We don't have to. We can simply sit back, look at the trend, and realize that it's still up, and we should be looking to buy things showing relative strength. So I want to go ahead and go over to total crypto market cap and get your opinion here. Obviously, if you guys have been following the show, you know that above 3 trillion is my risk on. I think as long as we're trending above 3 trillion, liquidity is still flowing into the market. You can see we peaked in December along with the TradFi market. Here's the question, Josh. If the TradFi market is breaking out, what do you expect to happen in the coming days or weeks to the total crypto market cap? Gotcha. So I heard that there's some technical difficulties going on right now. I think that Streamlabs doesn't have incoming audio enabled, so that's my fault. Unfortunately, I don't think I can fix that while the stream is going on, so that's something that I'll have to fix for the next stream. But essentially, Josh said that he's bullish. He expects that if the TradFi market is breaking out, that the total crypto market cap will minimum go to range high being somewhere near $3.5, $3.6 trillion. And then whether or not Bitcoin has the juice to continue, I totally agree. I think driver's seat right now is Bitcoin. Josh is in the same seat here. Bitcoin is really driving this market higher. A lot of it's coming through ETF flows that Josh talks about and has talked about for the last couple of weeks. A lot of this is coming through ETF flows. And do we see a $4 trillion and a potentially $6 trillion market cap by the end of this cycle? I'm on board. I think, yeah, I think if Bitcoin's going to continue up to 150, that's my next goalpost, by the way, 150 to 155 for Bitcoin. I think it has the opportunity to get there this cycle. And I know that Josh is a lot more bullish than that, thinking it could go way higher than that. If it does, it all comes down to total crypto market cap. I mean, obviously, we need the liquidity to flow into this area. We're going to see that manifest itself on this particular chart. 4 trillion, 4.5 trillion is the first stop up. And then by the end of this mega cycle, if you will, is there an opportunity for this to be up near 6 trillion? Potentially, and if it is up towards 6 trillion, and by the way, this is not just some arbitrary number we're pulling out. If you look at past cycles, they tend to go up by magnitudes. This is a very small all-time high breakout as of right now. We're currently up only 5%, at the peak 23% on previous all-time highs back in late 2021. This stuff normally goes up 100% or more. So 100% of 3 trillion would obviously put us up near 6 trillion. So this is not just pulling this stuff out of thin air. This stuff is going back and looking at previous cycles, the advances, and then also you have to take into consideration, how much liquidity is out there in the market right now. How much did we just print over the last 5 years? That has to find its way into the market somehow, right? Okay, so obviously technical difficulties are here. You guys can't hear Josh. I can't fix that right now, but Josh, obviously I can hear you. We're going to cut this thing a little bit shorter because there's no point in people just hearing me ramble. I want them to be able to hear you. So give me 1 or 2 trades that you're looking at. I'll throw them up, and then I'll kind of talk through them after you tell me what you like about them. LTC. Josh says 140 and up LTC. Lots of chatter about LTC ETFs coming through. Bullish momentum regime trading north of a 200-day moving average. I originally liked this above a 110, but we've been chopping around. Josh says, listen, this is still a stage one. Want to own it on a break above 140. Price targets of 200, 300, and 400. He does not see any reason why this can't go to all-time highs, along with the broader market, specifically if ETFs come in. Josh, what is your opinion on the Doge ETFs that are now being processed? Got it. Net positive. He said the Doge ETF, net positive for the crypto space, but there's going to be a significant lack of liquidity flowing around the crypto space to go into other assets because the money's going to be locked up into ETFs. It's going to give institutional and to a certain extent retail an opportunity to get more exposure to the crypto market through higher beta plays, for example, Doge. So he likes it, but you do have to take into consideration that if you're locking your cash up into an ETF, it's not necessarily going to be going around to other cryptocurrencies as well, which has been traditionally what's happened, right? Okay, so give me one more trade. Like the Litecoin, like you said, this is an old blue chip for those of you that have been around a couple cycles. This was a really popular trade back in 2016, 2017. Here it is, 2025. We're still talking about it. It's still hanging around. I like it. What's the next one? So this is going to be a little bit harder to buy. This is hyper liquid HYPE against the US dollar. Josh says you're going to have to go on chain to buy this, but this essentially looks like a stage 1 into a potential stage 2. Remember, this thing came out just a couple of months ago, and these cycles move incredibly quick. There was an opportunity to grab this. This particular chart might not show it, but there's an opportunity to grab this at $5. It's currently trading 27. Josh likes the range that's being built out right now. A little bit of a rounded bottom and a horizontal range here. You could buy above. What was the entry, did you say? Right around here, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind it. We trade these types of setups all the time inside of TTI. Yeah, bullish momentum regime here, sitting in the overbought category. Now, at any point did we not get oversold? Like the base, like the move above 27.528 for a potential all-time high push. And then, you know, if you just throw some fibs on here and we look at this kind of mathematically, we'll do this at 28. You know, you're looking at an all-time high push up near 33.5 and then beyond 42.75 and then potentially 51. Why not? What's the market cap on this thing? Oh, billions? Okay. Wow, so this has an opportunity to be the #1 perps platform, eating into Binance, and I'm assuming my old stomping grounds, BitMEX. That's great. Okay, all of them, yeah, competitor. Well, it has a base. We like buying base breakouts inside of TTI. The best part about these types of setups, it's not necessarily that they're the highest performing setups, although I'm partial to that. It's that you know exactly where you're right and where you're wrong. You build out these nice long bases here. In this case, a 2-month plus base and a very popular on-chain crypto is a pretty long base. You buy the breakout. You know where you're right. North of the line, you know where you're wrong. South of the line, throw a stop that sets your risk level to something that makes sense to you, and then just let this thing do what it's going to do, right? Let this thing, if it does break out, let it continue to go and try not to sell it early. I think that's the bigger detriment here. You catch one of these runners and you sell it early because you never know how far these things are going to go, right? Okay, well, you guys can't hear Josh, but Josh, thank you so much for showing up. I apologize for the audio problems. Next Friday, when we record the next one of these crypto reports, I will make sure that it's working before we hop on. Josh, enjoy your Valentine's Day. Shout out to your fiance. and